Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to explain the provider, and to explain provider we need to use this example, which is like a simple to-do list, Flutter or something like that, and then add the second one. I need to add for example working or something. So it will just add a list of value of string here. So it's very simple, a little bit more complicated than counter. So first thing with the provider, we said the provider is a package, so we need to download and install this package from the Flutter pub. And in the provider we have few things here. So the first thing here, I need to create a provider class. So this class called provider. Inside this class I will add all states here. So any state I need, like counter, like a list, or any state I will use it in the application, I will add it separately in the provider class. And then I need to inject this provider inside the main.dart. So in the main, what we have, the root, the first one in the widget tree will be the material app. So in the material app I will try to inject the provider class, so I don't need to create an object every time I need to use this state anywhere in the widget tree, but I can just use it one time, just to create one object and inject this object in the root in the material app, and then I can use this instance everywhere in the widgets tree. So this is the idea. So here just inject it in the widget tree. After that, whenever I need to use it, I can just use a class provider text, for example. So I can in the tree by just use provider.add. So here I can just add. From here I can just access anything inside the provider class everywhere in the tree. So first thing, I need to create a provider. So now let's start with that. So we'll create a new. So the first step here we need is to install the package, the providers outside package. So I can say here flutter pub add provider. That's it, just to download the provider. After that I need to install it, so I can just say flutter pub get. That's it. Now I will install everything. So now if I go to the pubspec.yaml, I will see, or I will find the provider here. So now as you can see, the last version of provider now finished. Now I need to delete everything. So now what I need to do here, first thing, I need to create a provider class, and after that we already have main, and then I will add the UI here. So any user interface, I will add it in the another different file. So let's start with that directly. So here in the lib, so we already have main. Now we will create the provider. So create class here, I will name it like provider or whatever, any name of course, and I will add also the UI. Of course you can name it anything, but now just example to understand everything. So now we have provider. Start with the provider is very simple. First thing, I will import material app, and then I will create a class called provider, or I will name it, because we already have provider, so I can say list provider or to do provider extend, or we can say with, like mixin, and we will use change notifier. Change notifier is just to inform other widgets, any listener, to there's any change in the class. So now what the state we have in the provider, so we need only the list. So we can say the type here is list of string. Of course I need a string, I can name it list only equal just empty list normally, and the function that I need is just add. So I can say void, the function name is add, and I will add the value here inside it. So I will just say like string, and then what can I add here, I can just say list.add, very simple, and the value here, and then notify listeners. So anything listen to the a provider will notify. For example, I have this text, listen to the provider. So whenever the state change here or add something to the list, this will send notification to the widget here, to the UI, and the UI should rebuild itself, like set state. So this is the idea behind notify listener. So we need change notifier to implement notify listener. Finish here. Also I need to add any logic here, so I will add the text here. So I can say here text edit controller, name it txt for example, equal text, just to add a controller to the text. And here I can say after I add this, I need to make text dot like clear. So I will delete everything from text. You'll understand that. Now I finished the first step, add the provider and all states, and add the function inside it. Now I need to inject it in the main. So now go to the main, and in the main, of course, you know that we need to create material app to implement everything. I need to inject. How we can inject it? By using this one, change notifier provider. This widget will make injection. So the first thing you create, so I will create here context, and then here I will create the class. So I name it to do provider, right? This is the name, and the child will be what? Will be like the root, so will be the material app. Here I need to inject it inside material app. So the first thing, using change notifier to make injection, and then create the object from provider, name it to do provider, like this here. After that I need to add to make the material app is the child. So material app, now here, now this inject, we inject this inside material app, and then inside material app, of course, you know, we have all the application, all the UI. So now I will just create here home, and then I will name it like, for example, UI or to do UI, as you like, to do UI. Now where is to do UI? Of course I will do it inside the UI. So here I will just import UI and then just import it here to do UI. Now I have created. So now finish here. Now in the to do UI I will start. So what I need to do in the to do UI, like you have seen before at the beginning of this video. So I need here the column simply. After that the children. So the first thing I need text, so I will add text field. In the text field we need controller, so I will get the controller from the provider. Here we already add the controller, but now we need just to finish the UI. So let's ignore this for now, and then I need to add the sized box here and high maybe 20, and then I need to add a button for add. So elevated button, so on a press and the child. So just quickly we need to do that on a press, so it's nothing now, and then the child maybe just text, and in the text I will add or something like that as you want. After that we need just to add the list view to display everything inside the anything user writed in the text field form, or anything you want, of course. And then list view, maybe I will add expanded for list view child list view dot builder. In the builder I have, of course, item count. I will get it from the provider. I have item builder, and we have context, and we have index, something like that, and just return simply the text, which should change. Now first thing, I need to get the information, the text and the add and everything from provider. So like we said here, now we are here in the UI, so we need to use provider.off context to access whatever inside the provider. So now here in the UI we need to go inside, I just need to cut this, not delete, just cut everything here. I need to add the scaffold on the body, and after that you can add whatever you want inside the scaffold, simple like that. Now I need to add provider inside build because I need here the context. So I can say here, like for example, var state to access the state from provider dot of, the type is called to do provider, and here context. Now I can access whatever I want. Here you need just to import it simply. Now I can access everything by state. I can access anything inside here. So we have, not forget, we have the list, the state, we have the text, and we have the function. So first thing what I need in the text here, I need to add the controller to access the text. So controller from state dot text, which means this one here. Then in the on press I need to add the button, so I can just say state dot called add, simple like that. And add what? Add the value. The value should be where? The value should be this one, dot text, whatever user right here. I already added in the text field, so the user right will be here. So I can just say also state dot text dot text, so whatever inside it here. And finally, now when the user write, will just add whatever here in the text, and then clear the text, and then notify listener. So now in the text, in the counter also we need to access state dot list dot length, and in the text also I will access the state dot list index, so the first thing, second thing, and so on. Display everything inside the list. So now when the user press on add, when the user writes something in the text form and the press on the add, it will add the value in the list and then clear the text and send the listener. So now this will change and add everything. So now we need just to make it so something like that. Now to make this in the center, this because I just add expanded here, maybe I can change this here, or simply I don't need to work with the UI now, so I can just add high here, for example 100, and just add a space, so to make this one a little bit here. Yes, now, so now I will add the first to do here. So for example study flutter, and then add, perfect, it's work, add it here. And here also I can say, for example, play football, and add, now it will add it here. So this is the idea behind the provider. Hope you understand that, and thank you very much.